Hello guys, this is Nikki, you also known as Faces Trader, and you are watching the Awesome10X Global Market Update. It's March 1st, 2021. Let's begin. So March is actually an eventful month. We're seeing about 5,000 companies or more actually reporting, and this week is actually a very huge earnings palooza. Let's take a look at the calendar for the week. There's just all of your favorite companies all reporting this week. Are you a favorite C Limited fan? Well, C Limited is a well-known Awesome 10X company pick. And this morning, actually this evening for the Philippines evening is US morning, you'll get a lot of calendar this week for actually a slew of before the open earnings format. So before the open, this March 1, the most eventful, I suppose the most tweeted earnings would be Berkshire Hathaway. For me, personally, I'll take a look at Stratasys. I want to see how the additive manufacturing is doing. It will give me an insight how to handle Markforged, Nano Dimension, Desktop Metal, X1, all the AM companies we do love. Now, of course, I'm also taking a look at other names other than your Berkshire. After the market closes, you see that the companies that I love to actually read about would be reporting. So you've got your Neo, your Zoom Video, your Mercado Libre, Lemonade, Insigo, all reporting earnings after market closes. So that would be around after market closes, that would be around 4:30 p.m. in the US. That would be about 4:30 a.m. in Philippine time tomorrow. So yeah, I think that I'll be interested what C Limited has to do and what NEO plans to do. For those who are also taking a look at the earnings front this week, let's take a look on Tuesday. What are the big names that are reporting? Of course, before the market opens, C Limited is going to report. Our favorite Target Corporation is also going to report. You've got Kohl's Corporation also discussing. So that would be department stores. We'll get a slew of an idea of how reopening stock names are doing. Of course, Awesome 10X favorite love, which is Wearable King Copen Corp. We're going to take a look at how much sales they're going to generate. And of course, we actually think that Copen's going to do well upon earnings. So do well or do badly, we'll be happy to buy into your Copen shares this week on a huge crash. Now, some more ideas. I didn't study NanoX, but I'm aware that a lot of people are actually taking a look at this medical imaging device because it's very convenient. I'll be taking a look at the earnings front of NNOX even without any stake on it. Now, for the rest, I discussed them. I usually have companies that I've discussed. So Copen, I do have that. C Limited, I do have that. Neo, I have that. Zoom Video. So those are companies that whether good or bad, whatever the earnings are, I'm willing to really buy them and keep them. And I'll probably buy more of them if they do crash. So it really depends how bad they could crash. Let's take a look at some aftermarket closes as well. On Tuesday, you've got Nordstrom reporting earnings. Viva Systems, I think for some people, they'll be interested on that report. You've got a lot of companies reporting. Fubo TV, well-known company in the niche streaming space. People might actually be taking a look at that sports play, sports betting, and sports streaming play. TMDX, Transmedics Group, I am actually out so far. I sold at about $40. So I got in a little bit late already at about 29. Is an organ transplant company. I sold at about 40 and 35. And then I'm going to take a look at just an understanding of more of these healthcare related names. Transmedics and AHAC, which is Humacyte, are interesting companies in my view. So those companies on any big drops might actually trigger a more buying spree for me. So let's take a look at the earnings whispers. There are a lot of earnings tonight, this week, and of course next week. So let's show to you the preview for the week. So I'm taking a look on Neo, Zoom, Mercado Libre, Lemonade, Stratasys. Some people are probably interested with some vaccine like Novavax and Novio. C Limited and Target are interesting for me. I'm gonna take a look on TXMD. These are women's reproductive health. They do those birth control pills. I'm gonna check what and of course a menopausal related treatment. Copen is interesting for me. Nano X as well. A lot of people ask me about Amaris, but really I don't. I never studied Amaris, so I took a look at it. I didn't see anything that impressive, but I mean the chart has gone up, and maybe I'm late. Yeah, 2 to 12 to 18, right? So yeah, I don't have Amaris, but maybe those who do have it might actually take a look at the earnings report this week. What else are interesting from us from this week's perspective? Snowflake is expensive in my view. Perhaps Berkshire Hathaway will discuss why they initiated a strong buy on Snowflake. I like Snowflake, by the way. It's just that I felt that it was expensive. When it opened in the market, it was already trading something in the realm of 240, and then of course it goes as high as 300. So I think it's a little bit expensive for me. So that's the reason why I didn't get in. Splunk, Marvel, Okta, very interesting companies. Trip.com will tell us more about how the all over reopening vacation scenarios are. The rest, I think, are going to be just normal. Not sure if people are interested to check what Slack has to do, despite because Slack already is merged with Salesforce. So immersion, this one is something that I'll be more interested upon. For Thursday, I'll be looking at immersion. IMMR is a company that I like. Smile Group, I'm not that confident. I think that although you can do additive printing right now with Smile, I'd say that I prefer desktop metal instead. I'm more of an AM play. As for all the oncology names out there, I think this is also interesting to check out. Schrodinger is a company that I don't own, but recently Bill Gates actually added so much shares on Schrodinger Inc. This is a predictive related company. You can actually take a look at what Schrodinger does. Schrodinger is named after the Austrian-Irish physicist and also the Schrodinger cat. So sometimes Erwin Schrodinger was a Nobel Prize who developed a number of fundamental results in quantum theory, provides a way to calculate the wave function and how it systematically, dynamically changes in time. So he was also the author of several aspects of physics, color theory, cosmology, and so forth. So they named their company after a scientist. Not sure if they named it for that or also the experiment, which is Schrodinger's cat. This is a thought experiment illustrating an apparent paradox of quantum supersession. Either way, let's take a look at Schrodinger, the company. It is more of a predictive related company. It's a material science company, life sciences and material science company founded in 1990. For software for computational chemistry, pipeline of collaborative and internal drug discovery programs. So recently, Schrodinger was in the news because your Bill Gates famously bought so many shares recently on Schrodinger Inc. I think there's news on that. I'm not sure if people actually read that news. So Bill Gates Trust sold Alibaba, Uber, and Apple stock, but he bought a lot of the shares of this drug discovery process. Which had an IPO at $17. So very strong in my view, but I am already late. Imagine when it IPO'd last year, 17 IPO, $27 was where it opened at. And right now, Schrodinger is already trading something in the realm of almost 10x. So $100 minus 17 is about $83. Very strong run up since IPO. Either way, I think that even if I'm late, what I'll just do is try to check what the companies are doing and what the sector is already doing for the new discoveries of drugs, material design, Explorer platform, Schrodinger. Hear from our team, Joel Lebowitz, Karen Akinsanya, Daniel Levine, senior scientists. So it's a scientific company. A computational platform lets you explore chemical space, predict molecular behavior with a high degree of accuracy. Now, last week we actually discussed, guys, that the market had our free Friday class was about Nightmare on Elm Street, i.e. Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Wall Street. Had to say that I was very much happy with how the market reacted last Friday because thinking that the market is extended, I thought that the market will actually sell off deeper, but happy that it didn't. In fact, it just became more of a retest, more of a shallow correction and a healthy pullback rather than anything to be scared of. Of course, a lot of people were scared in the treasury yield spikes, but take note, the drops only made people actually buy more shares on the bargain side. So Yeka today is now trading 9% up. This is a Chinese fintech company. This is actually the Square of China. Happy to say that right now it's actually moving up. So some of us got in at about 83 to 84. We didn't panic on the drop, although, yeah, it was very scary. It could have dropped at about $70. We would have bought more there. And then, so it was 84 all the way to 70, or about a 20% leeway to fall. However, the market chose not to fall. And today rose about 10% already. Should it rally, however, to about $105, my assumption is that some people at about 120 all the way to $80 here might actually panic sell, and the halfway here about $100 might actually trigger some of them who have very low costs to actually be trimming some positions. So I do think that these sellers at 103 are not yet out. They're not out of the woods. Let's take a look further on some other companies. Maxar is trading at about $48. I think some people also are also taking some profits off of their space-related names. Although I like Maxar Technologies, especially here at about 41, we have bought some here. Think that some people are also willing to trade the range. So it's very clear that Maxar is on a secular uptrend. I think that more people will go into satellite imaging, and Maxar Technologies is one of those companies who actually do that. And not just that, there are more applications in terms of space infrastructure capability. So Maxar is a space tech company headquartered in Westminster, United States, and orbit servicing satellites, satellite products, and related services. This has to do with our information being actionable, improving life on Earth from space, serving commercial government missions with trusted Earth intelligence and space infrastructure. Actually, guys, speaking of space, I'm happy to share that Holy City actually got a NASA partnership, and therefore I think it was up 15% after hours. So actually, even if some of us bought here as high as $18, some of us actually took this drop of about $14 or even at $15 to add more positions because of how strong we believe the space-related theme would actually play out in the secular trend for the next 5 to 10 years. So let me just read to you what Astra Holy City actually just shared in their ticker, in their own Twitter page. Let me share to you that. So Astra is a company that's going to get listed on this SPAC, HOL. So actually just last Friday, they shared already that we are very thrilled to partner with NASA in launching the Tropics mission across 3 dedicated launches to profoundly improve the scientists' understanding of processes driving high-impact storms. Read more on this. So actually this one, this is NASA awarding a launch service project to them. It's a constellation of 6 cube SATs, increasing the scientific community's understanding of storm processes. To know more about this partnership, what is the CubeSats? It's each the size of a shoebox, providing rapid refresh microwave measurements that can be used to determine temperature, pressure, humidity inside hurricanes as they form and evolve. So take note that NASA already has a mission with SpaceX. NASA assigned astronauts to agency SpaceX Crew 4 mission to space station. They launched initial elements for lunar outposts. So very strong movements. For all those people who are space geeks, perhaps just go to nasa.gov to see all the press releases. And of course, which companies are benefiting, not just your Holy City. Let's take a look at some names as well. Momentus, aka Extract, should be also beneficial. In fact, these drops here, because of the market drop from about 28 to 16, might actually trigger some people who want a space-related play to actually be willing to buy these drops. So actually, guys, because some people were early, it's natural for some of them to get off the cuff dropping, and with the markets dropping very fast, you'll notice that there will be a huge trading range for the next couple of months, in my view. It's going to be dependent, of course, with earnings as well. So with SRAC, in my view, it's going to be $14 to $21. Those who are new in the channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Forgot to say that. And of course, our mission to educate you and also help you 10x your wealth. Just want to share that this is our website, www.awesome10x.com. You could get started now. You could create all the assets for your portfolio, how to diversify into great stocks. And actually, we made some sharing. Let me share to you a few of our renditions and artworks. So all of these artworks were done and illustrated by a Filipino artist named April Fronda. We actually shared our pizza pie rule to all of our inner circle members, and now we're sharing also to you. Of course, the Awesome 10X system believes in 25% cash, 25% stocks, 25% allocated to a property investment someday in the future. And of course, 25% should be your business or job, should be able to compensate and pay for your day-to-day family expenses. So hopefully, if you don't have a property yet, if you have what the Pizza Pie long-term investing rule states here is actually to allocate 25%, invest a portion of that, 25% of it into stocks, 25% into cash so that you can actually weather the storms. And of course, your stocks are representing your long-term mindset. So we actually want you to be 10 years in your decade mindset. Of course, this is also something to share for all the Awesome 10X Inner Circle members, but also to you watching us. Only those who do not expect anything are never disappointed. Only those who never try never fail. Anyone who is currently achieving anything in life is simultaneously risking failure. It's always better to fail doing something than to excel in doing nothing. A flawed diamond is more valuable than a perfect brick. People who have no failures also, remember, have no victories or very few victories. That's John Landis Mason. So just wanted to share all of our ideas. Awesome 10X believes in an Awesome 10X portfolio when you plant your seeds and nurture them on the ground. So far, if that company is a real 10X name, if you do believe in that company, well, we share a lot. Example, last 2 weeks ago, we shared TSNT, aka Humble Pay. That stock just flew all-time highs already at about $4.80, or roughly at about $1.20. Well, it's not yet all-time high because it used to trade as high as 1.7. It had the reverse stock split move of about 4:1. That means that if your cost was $1, effectively your cost is now $4, but you had less shares. Meaning if you had 1,000 shares, now you've got 250 shares. Either way, the value, the dollar value amount is the same. In fact, it was up 40%. And Nick Carter just tweeted, yes, the Backstreet Boys, Nick Carter just tweeted that Humble Pay is something that he is so alive and happy with because Humble Pay acquired Tikeri. Tikeri is actually a company, a website that allows you to buy and purchase your tickets for concert and events online. So very huge partnership between Tikeri and Humble Pay. Okay, so this is what we mean. If you have great Awesome 10X portfolios, you nurture them, you plant them when on the ground. Because what do you think about Humble Pay? At about $3 billion, well, now it's about $5 billion, but we were buying it at $3 billion, or some people perhaps even bought it as low as $1 billion. Why is it going to go higher? Because in my view, it's going to be as big as Square in the future. And for the real 1-hour class deep dive on Humble Pay, please go check out our free Friday classes, which we shared happily and freely to everyone who's watching the Awesome 10X YouTube channel. Now, if you like our free Friday classes, of course, those classes and more are all Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday to Thursday, we get our paid members, and we not just give them more of those ideas, more Awesome 10X ideas, we also give them a lot of real-time trading and investing buy signals. And also if we need to trim some positions, we also do that real time. So There is no perfect spaghetti sauce. What does this mean? You want to create your own pasta. The ingredients would be awesome 10x companies approved from different secular trends. May it be your high conviction in artificial intelligence, your high conviction in digitalization of payments, your high conviction on certain SPACs, whether it be human organ transplants that can actually, or sorry, it's not organ transplant. It's actually human organ printing, which will be transplant. That was Humacyte. They can print a kidney. Can you imagine if you bioprint a kidney, you help a person, you save his life, and you don't need to actually entertain the illegal organ harvesters that are plaguing the entire world. Of course, invest in regular tranches. We give sharing of Awesome 10x quarterly cost averaging rules. The recommended weights you'll often hear is 369. Some of them would do 1, 2, 3 if they have a larger account. Some would do 5, 10, 15 if it's a smaller account. But really, you want to harvest your tranche, your plants, your seeds. You harvest this in the next four quarters, next 12 quarters, next 3 years, next 5 years. So you really just invest in regular tranches like planting root crops. In this case, this is a turnip. It looks like a yam. Yeah, so there. I mean, it's good. Halo-halo, for those Filipinos, they know what halo-halo is. Halo-halo is actually a dessert. This is the ultimate Filipino summertime treat. It is actually a layered dessert consisting of sweetened beans, fruits, shaved ice, drizzled with evaporated milk and ice cream like ube. Halo-halo actually means mix in Filipino. And what we actually want is you chill with the Awesome 10x system. Just like eating your halo-halo, you diversify for best results. You make money while you're sleeping, just eating your halo-halo. What it means is that maybe an ube ice cream could represent something like a Palantir. Maybe a leche flan could be like your electric vehicle, like your Neo or your Xpeng. Perhaps this green gulaman, which is perhaps a green-related energy, you could be believing in some solar or some wind or micro inverters. So it could be a sun run, a sun power, or a Canadian solar, or even Vestas wind systems. So you try to diversify for best results in your portfolio, and you can just chill with Awesome 10x system. So we always also want to remind you with this one, surround yourself with winners. Surrounding yourself with winners actually means that you are owning the companies of the biggest, the best, the brightest people of this century, of this decade. So people who invested with Tesla, Facebook, Netflix, Shopify, Apple, and Microsoft got rewarded immensely. Of course, we have our other opinions of other Awesome 10x companies as well. You would 10x or 100x with them if you invested very early on. However, it doesn't mean that you will not find the next Amazon. That is, of course, RC Limited. The next the next Netflix, which is, in my view, Roku, which we made 10x for. Now, the next Apple could actually be the Google Glasses, which is really a play on Copen, which we also 10x our efforts on. Now, for Microsoft, this is the leader in cloud computing. Now, some people might otherwise think that, well, there's a lot of smaller companies that are also in the cloud computing. One of the Awesome 10x company that we did so well about was KC, Kings of Cloud. Of course, Fastly, which is also doing a lot of infrastructure in this edge compute networks, should also be an Awesome 10x that you can surround yourself with winners with. Now, Shopify, of course, is a great leader enabling all the retail to actually go from offline to online, handling the warehousing. We want to actually check out the company like Revolution Acceleration, aka RAAC. That is a SPAC handling a lot of warehouse automation. That is Berkshire Grey. So think about it. Of course, your Tesla is Tesla. It's hard to compare Tesla, but of course, all your electric vehicles today, like your Xpeng and Neo, are also having ecosystems that are also comparable, albeit at a cheaper price than your Tesla. So I hope you learned something. Social media, Facebook is Facebook. What are the bigger what are the big social platforms today? You've got your Discord, you've got your Clubhouse, you've got your Twitter, entering into the Twitter space. So there's really a lot of great companies. I hope that you learn to invest globally and diversify and make 10x returns. So let's take a look at any questions, if any. It's 24 minutes. What's your take on commodities as the 10-year yield is set to rise further? On commodities, I am not a very well-versed person. However, you could see that FCX, aka Freeport McMoran Copper, is doing all-time highs. It's copper and gold. You could see that nickel and lithium are doing so well because of your electric vehicle beneficiary. I'm also of the belief that steel is on a good move because of the wind turbines. So I am actually bullish on certain commodities. I'm bullish on lithium. I'm bullish on nickel. I'm bullish on copper. I'm bullish on steel. So that would be my take. I'm not a commodity trader, but I just think of secular trends. Looks like I don't have a lot of questions today. I hope that you don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This is Awesome10X signing out. Bye-bye.